Jake LaMotta, an iron-fisted battler who brawled his way to a middleweight title and was later memorialized by Robert De Niro in the film Raging Bull, has died. He was 95. The former middleweight champion died Tuesday at a Miami-area hospital from complications of pneumonia, according to his longtime fiancée, Denise Baker. LaMotta handed Sugar Ray Robinson his first defeat and reigned for nearly 2 years as middleweight champion during a time boxing was one of America's biggest sports. He was a fan favorite who fought with fury, though he admitted to once intentionally losing a fight to get in line for a title bout. LaMotta gained fame with a new generation because of the 1980 film based loosely on his autobiography from a decade earlier. De Niro won an Academy Award playing the troubled boxer, violent both inside and outside the ring, in a Martin Scorsese film that several critics have ranked as among the top 100 movies ever made. "Rest in peace, champ," De Niro said in a statement. The Bronx Bull, as he was known in his fighting days, compiled an 83-19-4 record with 30 knockouts in a career that began in 1941 and ended in 1954. But it was the movie that unflinchingly portrayed him as a violent and abusive husband. He was married 6 times that is remembered even more. "I'm no angel," he said in a 2005 interview with the Associated Press. LaMotta fought the great Sugar Ray Robinson 6 times, handing Robinson the first defeat of his career in 1943 and losing the middleweight title to him in a storied match on February 14, 1951, at Chicago Stadium. Robinson stopped a bloodied LaMotta in the 13th round of their scheduled 15-round bout in a fight that became known as the Second Street Valentine's Day Massacre. It was a reference to the infamous 1929 mob killings of the same name. LaMotta took a beating in the later rounds of the fight, but he refused to go down until the referee stepped in to save him from further punishment. LaMotta finished 1-5 in 6 fights against Robinson, who many in boxing think was the greatest fighter ever. "I fought Sugar Ray Robinson so many times it's a wonder I don't have diabetes," LaMotta was fond of saying. LaMotta threw a fight against Billy Fox, which he admitted in testimony before the Kefauver Committee, a U.S. Senate committee investigating organized crime in 1960. "I purposely lost a fight to Billy Fox because they promised me that I would get a shot to fight for the title if I did," LaMotta said in a 1970 interview printed in Peter Heller's 1973 book In This Corner, 40 world champions tell their stories. Renowned for his strong chin and the punishment he could take and dish out, LaMotta was knocked down only once, in a 1952 loss to light heavyweight Danny Nardico in his 106 fights. LaMotta was born July 10, 1922, on New York City's Lower East Side, but was raised in the Bronx. After retiring from boxing in 1954, he owned a nightclub for a time in Miami, then dabbled in show business and commercials. He also made personal appearances, and for a while in the 1970s he was a host at a topless nightclub in New York. The 1980 film Raging Bull, based on LaMotta's memoir written 10 years earlier, was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. Though director Scorsese was passed over, De Niro, who gained 50 pounds to portray the older, heavier LaMotta, won the Best Actor award. In 1998, LaMotta, who had 4 daughters, lost both of his sons. Jake LaMotta Jr., 51, died from cancer in February. Joe LaMotta, 49, was killed in plane crash off Nova Scotia in September. A funeral in Miami and a memorial service in New York City are being planned, Baker said.